decided to make a little video on my new collection, which, as you saw from the video title, is Kawaii bees. Now, I know I'm a little late to the game. They've been around probably since the spring of this year, but I think they're adorable, and I'm so happy they're not going away. Like, I even saw them in Joann's with the Halloween stuff, and I'm like, fantastic, they're still around. I love these guys. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, I am talking about these precious little Kawaii polymer clay little keychains, right? And I was in love with them. And so I'm like, I want to sell them. But as that my whole ministry behind my business is to ultimately bring people's minds and glorifying to God, I'm totally sidetracked because this dog decides to sit on my lap. He has to get in on the camera. You know, sit down, buddy. So I'm like, how do I make this adorable thing about God? You know, and then I did a little prayer, and it was pretty funny how God works, and he brought to memory the Beatitudes. Does anybody out there remember the Beatitudes from Sunday school as a kid? And I'm like, that is perfect. I can do play on words. Now, I understand Beatitudes is actually Latin for blessed is or blessed are, but play on words, B-E-E, Beatitudes, and the attitudes or the characteristics, spiritual characteristics of those that are spoken about in those verses. And so I'm like, fantastic. But then I'm like, wait a minute, how do I make this little guy represent the meaning, those deep spiritual truths in a little keychain? Okay. So follow me on this one, and here are my ideas so far. There are 8 Beatitudes, and so I did a little bee clay figurine for each one to represent each one. So give me a second. I'm going to grab them and pull them up here because I don't have it memorized. Patience is a virtue. It's not one of the Beatitudes. Wait, isn't it? The word beatitude is Latin for blessedness, which carries the meaning of a divine joy and perfect happiness. So when Jesus used the phrase blessed are in the Sermon on the Mount, what he was actually saying is divinely happy and fortunate are those who possess these inward qualities.
Beatitude 1, based on Matthew 5:3. The humble acknowledge their dependence on God and are blessed. They enter his kingdom. To represent this, I sculpted Humble Bumble holding a key representing how Jesus is the only way into heaven. Beatitude 2, based on Matthew 5:4. Blessed are those who mourn over their sins, for they will be comforted. I sculpted Humble Bumble crying to represent mourning over his sins. Beatitude number 3, based on Matthew 5:5. Blessed are the meek, which means strength submitted, for they will inherit the earth. So this is a samurai submitting his strength to his sensei, aka God. Beatitude number 4, based on Matthew 5:6. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be filled. And to represent this, little Humble Bumble is holding his Bible because that is where we learn what true righteousness is. The Holy Spirit will direct us through its pages to fill that righteous hunger. Beatitude 5, based on Matthew 5:7. Blessed are the merciful, for they will be shown mercy. And to represent that, I have Humble Bumble holding a whole handful of hearts. He is just ready to just pour out mercy on anyone and everyone. And that's available to us too if we fill up on Christ and his word. Beatitude number 6, based on Matthew 5:8. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God. What better way to represent a pure heart than a pure white heart, right? So, yeah, I think it's pretty self-explanatory, right? Beatitude number 7, based on Matthew 5:9. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called the children of God. And the best way I could think of to represent peace is the olive branch, right? That's universal. And finally, Beatitude number 8, based on Matthew 5:10. Blessed are those who are persecuted because of righteousness, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. So what better way to represent this than a few little scrapes and bruises and an adorable little teardrop, but yet he is still holding that Bible high. He is not surrendering his faith, and I think we all should learn from his example.
Well, thank you for making it to this length of the video. I really appreciate you watching it through.
it's really encouraging to know that there's somebody out there that thinks these little bees are a cute idea and a fun way to share the gospel. I hope you're blessed from what I'm sharing, and if you are interested, they are in my Etsy shop now. I don't know if you can see, but I have it open just so when you go on Etsy, you recognize it. But not like I'm pushing for anything. And thank you so much for watching this.